guys, I'm going to disassemble this block right here, and I have quite a mess back here, but I need to clear it out, and I need to get this block down to a bare block because I just got an engine stand yesterday, so I want to get this up. But I decided to check some things out, and so far what I've found is the number 5, because Ford goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so the number 5, the bearing had actually spun. Now that's the bearing, and you can see if I do like this, I got pretty much chrome fingers. Ignore the junk in the background. Like I said, I need to clean. It's been raining pretty steady here, so I haven't had a chance to get out and do much. But yeah, all that. But the crazy thing is, if I take and wipe this down, the crank actually looks really good still. So I'm not sure what to take on this, but I pulled the one next to it. I just hand tighten these real quick so I don't want to get all the caps separated right yet. And it looks really good. And when I do like this, when I do like this, it feels the same. You know, there's no gouges, no scores, no nothing. It looks really good. But this definitely, see when I pull this cap how the bearing is in the cap? When I pulled this cap, the bearing stayed on. Yeah, so this was actually walking around the crank instead of staying one side here, one side there, if that makes any sense. I know a lot of you know a lot more about building engines than I do, but I do know there's some people on my channel that has never been past the cylinder head. So pretty much what I'm looking for is if the caps come off and the bearings stay on, the bearings look good. There is one small little wipe spot here, but there is not on the crank itself. But like I said, if you look at that, it's just one little small wipe spot. And like I said, the engine had so little run time that I'll be surprised if the crank is unusable. That would really surprise me. So I'm going to put these back together for now. But I'm going to take off the rest of them and look and see if any of the other ones are spun. But that's the only one I've found so far. Also guys, if you see the brown scoring on this, that's where it got really hot. I'm not reusing these rods, but I'm sure a machine shop could do something about that. But like I said, I'm not reusing the rods, so that's a good thing. But that's an indication where the bearing has been spinning. I can feel a little bit of grooves in there and the discoloration. Something worth noting when you're taking this apart, it helps because these caps are what they call broken caps. Okay, so they're one piece and then they break them, so they only go back one way. So ignore the smudge, but I have it marked 8, 7, 6, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Because like I said, Ford numbers theirs. This would indeed be the passenger side, so this will be number 8. So you're looking at 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So just mark them. Just because I'm not reusing these don't mean that they can't be beneficiary to somebody else. They might have an engine that's down a rod and they need a single rod. You know, I keep stuff like this to help people out when they need help. I've needed help. So I think it's a great way to help people. You know, or you can sell them. I choose not to sell my stuff. But by marking them on one side like this, I know when I put them back together, the two sides that are marked are the sides that go together, and they can't be flipped around. I also put a quick reference on the end caps that I could get to. So that's that. Alright, before I get this covered up real quick, I just want to go over something. The main caps, they have side bolts. Well, you also have to go in with a 5/16 Allen wrench. And these things right here, see how well you can see this? It's trying to rain on me, so I'm trying to hurry up. You see, screw it in and out. screw it in back to the main cap, and then you can get the caps free. I did find my bolt. I actually found a second one, but it is starting to rain, so I got to cover this stuff up. Alright guys, I got the crank out. Crank actually does not look terrible. It's got a few spots that look kind of bad, and you can actually just wipe it away. There's nothing I can feel with my finger nails. They say if there's any burrs like that, it's bad. I feel nothing with my fingernails, no snags, no nothing. Half the stuff that's like discoloration, I can just wipe it away. You see that right there? All that is from the bearings. Now, people that some of you might know, most of you is going to know, but the bearing material is actually a lot softer than your crank or your block, and that is for the reason that it can wear in and make a smooth riding surface. They also have to keep into the account that parts expand when they heat, and they go back down when they're cold, so it has to take that into account. So this has a lot better resistance to expanding and contracting versus what the cast aluminum will. But everything looks fine on the crank pretty much. Like I said, I didn't feel any bad spots. There is discoloration right here, but there is, like I said, there's absolutely nothing I can feel whatsoever. So I'm going to have a machine shop check it out. It's always worth it. They might say it's trash. They might say, yeah, run it. You never know. Like I said, people have made 800-900 horsepower on these stock cast cranks. So I'm going to get the pistons out. I should lighten up the block quite a bit where I can actually get the engine stand assembled and get this on it, and start actually stockpiling parts on the side. Like I said, this build's going to be in the future, but I wanted to go ahead and get it apart and show Andrew the carnage that is going on. All these bottom bearings look really good, and notice they all stayed in the block. There's a few of these where like that bearing looks good. That bearing, you can see where the rod itself is scorched. There's another one where the rod is scorched right here on this first one. So the bearings that was bad was 8 and 1. That's the only two, or 8, 7, and 1. 7 was not, it wasn't spun, but it was really scorched. 8 was spun, and 1 was scorched. It wasn't spun. 8 was the only one spun. So, alright guys, so a little bit on some safety here. These mains are extremely sharp. I mean, like, extremely sharp. So basically what just happened is I was pushing this through the bottom how I did the other ones. When the tension give, I pretty much slammed my hand to right here. It ended up cutting my knuckle down to the cartilage. I cut an artery, and they couldn't get the bleeding to stop. It had to be all glued up, and then it had to be stitch bandaged and then pressure bandaged because it was forming a hematoma underneath the skin, and they didn't want that to get infected. So just be very careful, because all of this on these mains are really sharp, so be careful. Alright guys, after my little trip to the hospital, getting my finger glued shut, or my knuckle rather, there's the cylinders, everything looks good. Just got the last couple pushed out because, as y'all know, I cut my finger pretty good on that right there. Which, that thing feels like a dang razor blade. It is insane. But yeah, all the pistons are in good shape. The rods do not seem that bad, so I will keep them together in case somebody needs a spare rod or something. Like I said, I'm going coyote rods. But the pistons look great shape. There's people that's made 500 horsepower or so on stock cast pistons. It's usually not the weak point. The weak point is usually the rods. So that tells you that, these are a little bit more robust than these. I've seen coyote people make, not coyote, lightning people make 550 or so, and they have the same stock PI pistons, from what I can tell from research. So yeah, that's about it as far as the damage done to the block, was 2 spun bearings and 2 scorched bearings. But crank looked great, everything else looks great. So I'm gonna get this block on an engine stand that I bought. Wore gloves this time. Got me pretty good. Yeah, I'm done whining about it. And yeah, we can slowly start stockpiling parts for this car. I look forward to building this. Another thing I wanted to cover is certain things when you take them off, you don't have a system where to put the bolts at yet. I just screw mine right back in. I don't know why this is missing a water pump bolt. This is a different style water pump, so I'll be switching it over anyway. But that is that for now. As far as 4.6 goes, like I said, got to get them bolts. I'll get it up there, get it covered up, get it cleaned up. Cross stashing in the cylinders look good from what I can tell right now, but I do want to double check everything. I might even hit it with just a ceramic hone, the ball hone, and make sure everything's cleaned up there. But so far, crank and block, hey. So guys, this is just pretty much a filler video. Like I said, I can't catch a daggone break in the rain, and then going to the hospital for my finger. It's such a small little cut, and that cut an artery. I didn't even know you had arteries in your finger, which is ridiculous. So the glue already came off. Went to put my hand in my pocket and ripped it back open like a Riri. But that's all there is. I just wanted to show Andrew the carnage. Like I said, 2 spun bearings, 2 scorched bearings, nothing bad. Crank still good, block still good. That's all there is. This is just a filler video in between the weather, and hopefully the Nitrous Express content will come soon. I'm ready for it. I'm amped, ready to go. The weather just needs to cooperate. Thank you for watching.
I won't turn around, I done made it this far. Look back now, that wouldn't be too smart. Shoot for the stars even when it gets hard. Put my faith in the Lord with the 16 bars. I won't turn around, I done made it this far. Look back now, that wouldn't be too smart. Shoot for the stars even when it gets hard. Put my faith in the Lord with the 16 bars. I won't turn around, I won't turn around. No matter how far I go, I'll never come